Hello and welcome to another LEGO Star Wars video. Today I am going through my personal thoughts of the upcoming 7 new Star Wars sets to be released on August 1st. Because everyone wants to hear my thoughts about these sets, of course. This will not go through the Mandalorian Forge because that set will not be released on August 1st. And we haven't even seen the full set yet, just saying the figures look cool, but that's all I really have to say about that. And this will also not go through the UCS gunship because that's not really with the main wave of sets. And I don't want to get involved in that war. This is just about the 7 mainline sets, which we're going through today. We're going to go through them in order of my least favourite to my favourite. And absolutely, without a doubt, my least favourite of the wave is Duel on Mandalore. The cheapest set of the wave comes with 147 pieces. That's not a lot, and will retail in the UK at least for £18. I don't see it. I don't see the value here whatsoever. Like, the minifigures are cool, but everybody's already got that Ahsoka from the AAT. The Darth Maul is the only real standout, but it's just not that different from the last one. It's just missing a necklace. The build, a 7-year-old could build, like, just out of pieces they already have. The only, like, cool exclusive piece is, like, the window frame in this kind of, like, prison type thing. But, like, even the actual pieces in the set aren't that great. So this is one which I'm most likely not going to buy unless I see a crazy reduction of price on it, or just buy that mall figure off Bricklink or something if he's relatively cheap. Moving on, my next least favourite set is going to have to go to... But just the rest of the sets from here on out I pretty much like. That was the only one that I really dislike. The next one is going to be the Imperial Armoured Marauder set, which is coming in at £35, which for 478 pieces is pretty good, like in terms of price per piece. But the build itself looks like an absolute mess in my opinion. Like, looking at the actual vehicle itself, you can kind of see it, but the set, it just looks like a mess, as I said. Yeah, if I were to buy this set, I don't think I'd keep that build together for very long. I'd just break it apart and use the parts. The minifigures in this set, they're a mixed bag for me. I like the Grief Karga quite a lot. Apparently he doesn't have a secondary face print for some reason, which is quite weird. I'm not sure why they didn't decide to do that. The Stormtroopers are the new style, which I personally don't like as much. It's not even the chin that much for me, it's just mainly the eyes I think are way too big. But the standout minifigure, of course, is the Artillery Trooper or the Mortar Trooper. Whilst I do think the yellow is a little bit too bright and wish they went with like the flamish yellowish orange colour, I still think this does look really cool. And I know that I want that figure no matter what, so even if I don't buy this set, I'm going to end up getting him, even if he doesn't perfectly fit with my other Stormtroopers. One thing I do really like about this set though is that if you look in the back of this picture, you can see that the cargo it carries is actually were those same Imperial crates that were exclusive to the giant Mos Eisley Cantina. So thankfully this set should lower the price of those crates, because currently on Bricklink they're like £3.50 each. So hopefully this will take them down, so I'll be able to get quite a few of them for Mox, because they are such a nice piece for Mox. Moving on, my next least favourite set will have to be the latest advent calendar, that being the 2021 advent calendar, which is heavily based off of the Mandalorian. I know this technically doesn't come out on August 1st, but yeah, I'm talking about this instead of the UCS gunship, which does come out August 1st. It doesn't really matter, let's just keep with it. This set is okay. It's pretty well priced at 25 quid, like compared to most stuff. This is relatively well priced, I think. Even though I'm not going to keep a vast majority of it together, all of the mini builds will be immediately broken to pieces, and the only thing I really care about is the minifigures. Specifically one minifigure, that being the Scout Trooper, which is one of the best LEGO Star Wars figures ever made. and it's really cool to be able to get that in bulk easily, even though I'm not going to be buying it in bulk. I'm only going to be buying one. But, you know, usually minifigures that are in advent calendars like drop in value quite significantly, so that has my fingers crossed certainly for this one, that hopefully it will follow that similar trend and just become a lot cheaper to get my hands on, because these boys are awesome. The rest of the minifigures are there. They're not quite as cool in my view. There's a Tusken Raider. You can't get enough of those, they're just nice to put in backgrounds of mocks. Another Stormtrooper, good to add to the collection, but again, I did explain about my thoughts on the newer style of helmets. We've got an IG-11, I'm pretty sure that is, which was exclusive to the Razor Crest. Not all that different from IG-88, who came in a battle pack, but I guess slightly different enough, you know. The specialized minifigures with quotations all over the place is a Santa Mando and a Santa Baby Yoda, or Grogu, or whatever. I personally am not a giant fan of the Santa figures, just because I don't find them very useful for mocks. I quite like the Christmas jumpers last year, those were quite cute. Most of the Santa figures I'm not too hot on. I much preferred when they did just exclusives, which were not found anywhere else. Like that I thought was quite a bit cooler, but here we are. Yeah, as I said before, the mini builds I don't care about, and all I really like is the Skip Trooper. But just for something cute to add on, this is where it finds its place. My next least favourite set will have to be the most expensive set of the wave. That being the Imperial Light Cruiser, which is the most expensive set coming out this year, with £150, which is a lot for 1,336 pieces. Although there is some large pieces, like if you look at the back, it's got those big cylinders. Let's start off with the good of the set before we get to the bad. The good is the minifigures, I think quite a lot. You get Grogu and Beskar Mando, which are just fine. I've already got them. I regret heavily buying that Trouble in Tatooine set. If I knew how common these guys would end up being, I probably should have seen it coming, but you know. Cara Dune is also there. Rest in peace to all of the ATST Raider hype people. The other three minifigures are the standout in the sets, the new ones. That being Fennec Shand, Moff Gideon, and the Dark Trooper. My least favourite of the three is probably Moff Gideon. I don't know, he just seems a little bit lacking to me. I don't know if it's just the lack of leg printing, even though I could just find some black legs with some creases on it and just put them on there. Or maybe the face, I feel like the face is slightly too dark for him. Or, I don't know, maybe the hairpiece is wrong. He's not, the Darksaber's a different issue entirely, but yeah. He's not amazing, but he's still pretty useful for Mandalorian fans and mocks and whatnot. The Dark Trooper's cool. I'm still like a bit iffy if they should have used a droid or with the minifigure style, but I think I'll get used to it. I really like that headpiece anyway and the shoulder armor. Those will be super useful for customs and whatnot. And then Fennec Shand is absolutely the standout for me. I love the helmet mold, I love the torso, I love the legs, I love the arms. My only issue with her is that she doesn't have any kind of ponytail coming out the back. Like you see in the Bad Batch quite significantly that there is a ponytail sticking out the back behind her helmet. And that isn't there, it's not even printed on the back of her, so that's disappointing. But besides that, that is a pretty perfect figure of her. The only reason that I'm not going to buy this set for the minifigures is because I feel like they're all going to come in other sets. Fennec Shand will absolutely come in a Book of Boba Fett set. Like, I have no doubt in that whatsoever. There's a lot of rumours about the Dark Troopers potentially showing up in a battle pack. And then Moff Gideon, if he's in Mandalorian Season 3, I think it's more than likely we'll see him again too. So, Moff Gideon I think is the most likely to stay exclusive to the set, but the other two I definitely think we will see again. So I don't think I'm going to probably pick up this set, because as we move on to the build, I don't like it that much. I've never owned one of the like bigger, like the scaled down versions of the big capital ships like the Venator or the Star Destroyer. or anything like that. Just because I've never really personally found any use for them. Because, you know me, I'm a mock builder. These aren't the type of things you want to use in mocks. And even as a display set, I just think it's got way too many studs on the outside, and it's got a really, like, not great look to it. It looks kind of blocky in many areas, like the bridge and like the the bits that connect to the back engines. I don't know. I like the greebling down the sides, and I quite like the TIE Fighter feature. I think that's quite cool. The interior is okay. It's got that issue that all of the capital sets, all the capital ships seem to have, with throwing in red Technic all throughout the inside, but besides that, it doesn't look too bad. I like the stickers on the hologram table. I just wish like there was somewhere in the back that could open up as well. Okay, up next we're getting into the sets that I really quite like. First one being the Darth Vader Meditation Chamber. This one is coming in at £60, coming out on the 1st of August as well, coming with 663 pieces. Because, don't forget, make sure you get your parents' permission before you continue in this video, because this is an 18 plus set. But yeah, looking closer at this one, this one's definitely the display set of the wave. And I know I just said that I don't really display sets, but this one is pretty cool. I don't think it's as good as the Bespin Duel was last year, but at least we're getting access to it this time. Sorry, I'm still salty about that, and I never will not be, because that was an amazing set. But anyway, moving on. My favourite part of this set is, without a doubt, this little screen in the background of the 2 Imperial officers, which was from the movie. I think that's such a nice inclusion, and that's such a cool piece to use for holograms in mocks. So, if anything that I'm going to get from this set, I'm going to try and find its sticker sheet to get that piece, because that is probably my favourite piece or sticker of the wave, even after the cargo crates. Personally, when you look at the top of it, it's got this I don't like the big black Technic bit at the top. I think it kind of takes away from the overall look of the set. And I know that's necessary to be there for the feature, but you know, it's kind of just weird and just out of place to me. But besides that, I think it looks pretty cool. I also think that the set is really expensive for what it is. You can see when looking at the bottom, there's kind of 3 sections. There's the actual meditation chamber, there's this circular base, and then there's this giant square base in the bottom. I think you could have just gotten rid of the square base entirely and just started at the circular base, and then take out 150 pieces and then cut down the price. But you know, what can you do? In at number 3 is going to be this little set right here, that being the the Boba Fett's starship, or Slave One. It doesn't matter what you call it, it's the same ship we're all talking about. This one is going to retail for £45, which is I'm not sure if this is a good price or not. It also contains approximately 593 pieces, which is not too bad for the price. You can see here, here's our 2 minifigures, which a lot of people say are the standout of the set. I somewhat agree. I think the Beskar Mando is kind of getting overplayed at this point, even though he's only been in 3 sets, but he'll be in more. He'll be in the Advent calendar as well. But he looks cool. I do agree with the people who say that the jetpack and the helmet should be in dark green. I think that would have made this the perfect set. And also potentially a 3rd figure, specifically Mayfeld, I think would be really nice to get in the set, but you never know. Specifically with the tank driver helmet, because that would be very useful to me for a potential upcoming project. But yeah, let's have a look at the actual the actual Boba Fett starship itself. I really like this set. I think for my type of thing, which is small-ish representations of mocks, this is my perfect kind of set. because it is at that smaller scale and would fit really nicely into my type of mock. Yeah, I love how this looks. I think it's probably the best out of all of the scale down sets. Has a really nice look to it, really nice detailing and stickers, and I also really like this little Gamorrean guard piece as well. That's really cool. The service cart, which can make it a stand, I personally could do without, but I do see its value for many other people. So yeah, I'm really happy with how this set's come out, and I'm really excited to get this one. Up next, we've got another absolute banger of a set. Only £5 more than the last one. This one's at £50, but also it's got less pieces, which is interesting. This one's only got 544. I'm personally one of the praise for peace type guys, but you can do whatever you want. We have the Mandalorian Starfighter from Season 7 of the Clone Wars. It's quite interesting how different the two Clone Wars sets varies in terms of quality. This one is all about the minifigures for me. You get 3. You get the Mandalorian Royalist, which is everybody's least favourite of the 3. Even though they're not bad at all, they're still really cool, they're just not quite as cool as the other 2. Those being Bo-Katan and Gar Saxon, 2 of the most highly requested figures we've had in quite a long time, I'm pretty sure. I love them. I think that Gar Saxon's helmet horns could be a little bit longer, and his visor could be a little bit wider. But besides that, I think they're perfect. I think they look so cool. And it makes me want to make a giant Mandalore mock if someone hadn't already made one. But yeah, I love it. The ship itself is okay. I don't think I love the ship as much as everyone else loves it. Just, I'm not a huge fan of the color scheme. It's a bit too, I don't know what to quite explain it. To my favorite set of the wave. What else was it going to be? It's, of course, the Bad Batch Attack Shuttle. This set is clocking in at £90 in the UK with 969 pieces with 5 minifigures and a Gump droid, of course. This is my favourite set of the wave. It's also going to be currently it's my only day 1 purchase, although some other ones may fall in just depending on how I'm feeling on the day. But yeah, I need this set, quite literally. The Bad Batch figures obviously are going to be so good in my Camino mock. Crosshair less so because he's not very useful to me, so I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do with him in terms of that mock yet. But I love pretty much all of the figures. I love Hunter, I love Wrecker. Those 2 are probably the best in my opinion. Tech is interesting. I do think white would have been a better fit for him, but you know, and also the visor being able to move would also be quite good. And I agree that the helmet is just too big generally, but he's alright. Echo looks a little bit generic to me. I don't know what it is, but he just doesn't stand out that much. Crosshair is, I don't think his armor should be black. I think it should either be the same color as the Bad Batch or just dark grey if they need to make him a little bit different. I also think he really needed an antenna just to match his character, but he doesn't have it here obviously because they can't do that in the Phase 2 helmet, because otherwise they'd be able to make a Phase 2 Cody, but that's another question for another day entirely. But besides that, I like it a lot. The shuttle itself I think is just fine. It isn't much of a standout build for me. The colour of sand blue, I still argue with myself, but I think in the end I do agree that it's the right colour to go with. But yeah, I think the speeders just were unnecessary. Either remove them or put the parts of the speeders into the set, because realistically what we've got here in terms of the speeders is a BARC speeder, which we already have and anyone can just basically rebuild, and another speeder which showed up for 5 minutes of one episode that isn't really related to anything else going on in the set. So I think that green speeder should have just been its own cheaper set, which could have come with Fennec at a cheaper price and Omega and that would have been a great set to have alongside this wave. But beggars can't be choosers, I guess. I'm excited to get this shuttle a lot, and also I can just park the shuttle because supposedly the shuttle is meant to be quite small, which is beneficial for me because then I'll be likely more able to fit it within Camino and find a landing platform for it to go on or whatnot. But yeah, that's about it for this shuttle, and that's about it for the wave. Let me know what you think about this wave, what your ranking is of the sets. Thank you so much for making it this far into this video. This was a gigantic video to make, way bigger than I was ever expecting it to be, way longer than it was ever expecting to be, and way more effort than it was expecting to be. But here we are. It's been released before the actual sets came out, which is good. I started this before the Mandalorian Forge was revealed, before the gun turret was revealed, before the advent calendar was revealed, but now the video at least is finally out. So if you made it this far in the video, thank you so much. Let me know you made it this far in the video by typing, I don't know, we want a Boss Nass battle pack, why not? Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, like the video, that's what the like button's there for. Comment if you want to see more videos like this and what your favorite set of the wave is. And subscribe if you're new, because if you made it this far in the video, you clearly like LEGO Star Wars, so to see more stuff like that from me, that's how you do it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I always appreciate it, and goodbye.